All right. Well, the good news is there's no fear mongering going on whatsoever. I'm back. That's right. Hello, my name is Louis Herms, and this is SBG News and Views with the wonderful Robert Imbraeli, who will co-host with me today and maybe forevermore. So, it's been a long 3 weeks traveling all over. I don't know how many miles that we've gone. I believe it's been, let me guess, not very many, probably 10, 12,000, something like that. Anyways, regardless, I'm so happy to be back. Happy to be in the home front in my office and right here with Robert to bring you the news. There's a lot going on, as you can see just by that clip. Fear mongering aside, because they're definitely trying. Whether we get there is really up to you. I know it sounds crazy, but we'll talk about that. But there is a problem in the border. So let's bring on Robert Imbraeli right now and let's have a discussion about this.
Let's have a discussion about the border. Lewis, it's so good to see your face back on this screen. It's been too long. You can't hear me.
Wow. What a world in which we live.
Carol Maureen Friesen emailed me this morning, and she was talking about that, and I said, it's my response really was, it's actually a great time to be alive, because think about the stories we're going to be able to tell our kids, grandkids going forward. You know what I mean? We lived it. We were there. We saw the collapse of the cabal. We saw the collapse of the United States, who was powerful for the last 200 plus years, and all these transitions, and we got all this evil out of the way so that they can have a much better future than we're looking at right now.
Yep, I completely agree. And if people are feeling weary and low energy, so on and so forth, yes, there is poison in our air. Yes, there's poison in our food.
They know the border's wide open. They know we have who knows who came in, the 8, 10, 12 million, however many came in. We don't know who they are. There's many more that came in that we don't know even came in. And they're feeling it because you're seeing it in society. And of course, the military call-ups are not helping with that. It's ramping it up because now it's visceral. Now it's real. Now it's my uncle, my friend, my cousin, my brother got called up. They got the call to be ready. And they kind of admitted to it yesterday. Lewis, you and I were talking about it last week. We started to hear about it, and it was kind of hearsay. But I mean, you experienced it personally, so you saw it firsthand, what was going on at the hotels. And, and all of a sudden, yesterday in the news, it comes out, oh, yeah, there's been call-ups. We want the military to be prepared to go into the Middle East, scaring everybody. So they got to get that fear up, because when the fear's up, what will we do? We're easy to control. We'll say, go ahead, take care of it. Go ahead with your war.
Yep.
Right? Yeah.
The question is, have we learned our lessons?
I hope we have.
Yeah, that's really the question, is have we learned our lessons? The good news is you have a Patriot community now that can break down a message within 48 hours, and it permeates the general public where they go, what's going on?
Yep.
And you and I, if we have time on here, maybe we'll have a discussion about what you and I talked offline today, of how the mainstream media is a fallacy when it comes to being a legitimate business, because of their dollar spend
Yep.
in marketing, which is a very interesting conversation also.
Yep. Absolutely. I got a lot of intel there because I go to the NAB show, National Association of Broadcasters show in Las Vegas, which is massive. It's been up to 100,000 people, and all the news media is there. And those election years, it's like a party for them. They go in, they buy all new everything because they've got so much money coming in from the election. So, we're going to see that in April when they have the next show. It's an election year. A lot of money is going to be flowing in. But what happens on the non-election years is what we need to talk about, because these businesses are not traditional business models in the way that you and I know business. They operate very differently, and it's all about mind control and controlling the thoughts and opinions of the general population. It's so powerful. The only lesson I took a class in college, Plattsburgh State University in New York. I took a course there, and the teacher was a horrible teacher. I attended one session, but he said something in that session that really stuck with me. He says, if you want to take over a country, the first thing that we know to do is to take over the media. because the media affects everybody's thoughts and beliefs.
Mhm.
So they do that. They go into a country, they'll take over the media. So we know Project Mockingbird, we know all of this, right? But we don't pay attention that it's happening here too and has been for many, many years. We're just now kind of waking up to it. And, thankfully we have Rumble. Thankfully we have these other websites where we can actually post this stuff, because go back 5 years, you really didn't have that. You didn't have that flexibility. YouTube a little bit, but, and then 2020, it was like you couldn't talk about this stuff anymore without getting censored. But we still have this channel. Oh, did you see the story that, I forget which Dem wants to do it. They want to censor Rumble.
Yeah.
It came out
Well,
yesterday.
France already did.
Yeah, France cut Rumble off. Rumble is not
France
available
got
in France. Yeah.
Rumble. You can't get Rumble in
Yeah.
France.
Can't get it. So
Yeah.
yeah, they're trying to censor it here now because there's too many of us. So we're obviously, if that's happening, we're having an impact. If it wasn't happening, then we've got a little bit more work to do, but we're having an impact.
Well, I just go back to the old statistics. CNN's maximum viewerships at any one given time, any time of the day, is 460,000.
Right.
That's it. They've got like a $2.3 million budget per day, right? But they can't get 1 million viewers in a total day.
Yeah.
Let's assume even if they got 2.3 million viewers in a day, that means in order to pay just to fill their budget up and not make a profit, right? They would have to generate $2.3 million a day in marketing. Okay. These are ifs on their part because they don't get that many viewers a day. But let's even say they got that many. That means a so-called legitimate corporation would be paying a dollar to have an impression on a viewer. That is ludicrous.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even pay a penny.
Yeah.
You wouldn't even pay 1 penny for a random impression somewhere on your network, right? It doesn't work that way.
You'd pay
If it's a
$20
targeted
a thousand,
impression, you
$30 a
might.
thousand. That's the
What's
price.
that?
You'd pay $20 or $30 a thousand. The CPM is what you'd pay for.
Right.
Impressions,
Exactly.
right? Yeah.
That's it. So this is ludicrous. What that tells you is that the Fortune 1000 companies, which I've harped on for a long time, that are doing the commercials on the mainstream media are absolutely corrupt, and they're paying for something that they're not getting already, because this is about keeping that deep state engine running. So the way it works is the corporations run the world. If you guys haven't figured that out yet, you probably haven't been watching us very long, but the corporations run the world. It's a corpocracy that we're in. They run the world, therefore they take their money and they fund a DARPA controlled mechanism like a CNN, MSNBC, and yes, Fox News with their money. So it all looks legit, but what it is, it's just laundering money, and they're paying, as you and I discussed offline, they're paying for personalities. That's why these personalities get paid an obscene amount of money that they don't earn. It's incredible. So anybody that's really paying attention to mainstream media and thinking it's real, unless it's about disclosures now, and I do think the white hats are getting some involved, but from the past, they're not. You're watching a completely DARPA controlled CIA operation, A to Z.
Straight up. Absolutely true. All right. Shall we get into some news today?
I don't think there is any news today.
Our friends are here to hear some news, so I thought we'll just put some news up and see what happens. All right. So we have news that House Republicans elect Tom Emmer for Speaker in the secret ballot. GOP lawmakers once again turn their backs on vote. Wait, what's that? They're telling me something in my ear here. Lewis, something's changed. I don't think this story's valid anymore. What the heck's going on? Guys? Hello? Oh,
right.
Look at this. Emmer drops out of the speaker race. Conservatives win. Wow. What a world we live in. That story was alive for what, 2 hours?
Exactly. So here's what's beautiful. And this is what I'm trying to say, that we're winning over and over and over. On every channel in mainstream media, the headline, by the way, I spoke about this last week. I don't know if anybody picked up on it, that the Republican vote for nomination is BS. It means nothing.
Correct.
That secret vote means
Yep.
nothing. And everybody, I'm sorry, Patriots, everybody's jumping on it, pushing it all over the platforms, and all the news media is pushing it. I'm screaming, saying, guys, it means zero. Zero. Again, we predicted it right here on the show.
It's a
So what happened
nomination, is
is
all it is.
this guy got another ballot nomination from the Republicans. Guess what, though? It doesn't matter because if you can't get the votes on the House floor, it is a moot point. And if I'm on the House floor, I can nominate anybody I want to nominate. So it's another moot point. So we got to stop believing the BS, right? And we're trying to teach everybody here. So I was last week, I'm like, don't pay attention to this, guys. This isn't real. And sure enough, all over the Patriot channels, Emmer is going to be in. I'm like, no. And you found it. 2 hours later, they're like, he doesn't have the votes, so he's out. He
He's out.
gives up. It's hilarious. But everybody wants to jump on that news right away. They just need to take a deep breath, like you always say, and just let it play out a little bit. It's
Yep.
just crazy.
You know, and I bet if I went back on the sites now, we'd probably have updates even from then. And now they're saying that this was because of Trump's post this morning on Truth Social. He says, I have many wonderful friends wanting to be Speaker of the House and some truly great warriors. Rhino Tom Emmer, who I did not know well, is not one of them. And he went on to bash him and bash him and bash him. And they were saying that's why Emmer dropped out. I don't know. He didn't have the votes. Really, that's the reason he dropped out.
Emmer didn't drop out because of Soros. So here's what he didn't even have a unanimous vote when he got nominated, right? Just like Jordan didn't have a unanimous vote when they didn't nominate him and when they did before.
Mm-hmm.
You have to remember how this cycle works, right? So this is a game being played right in our face, and we all have to just be aware of it. This dude, if he would have been not only got the nomination but been elected speaker, he's a George Soros backed lackey,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
If it was real, we'd be done because that means we're not making any progress whatsoever. Right. But the fact is, you pointed it out, within 2 hours, he's gone. Tells you that the few have some power. Now, what we need to remember is, what do we always say? We need to use Marxist tactics without the Molotov cocktails and the bricks. Now, what that means is be extraordinarily organized, be on point with your messaging, and get loud. Okay, so that low amount, that 20 to 25 in the House, they're on point, they're using loud messaging, and they're consistent with their message. And they're very small. They're 1/10.
They are.
Of those Republicans right there. This shows you guys, if you just mimic even that action at your board of supervisors meetings, at your sheriff's office, at your school districts, you win. It's that easy. That's that easy. I just go guys, come on, let's go. That's what I keep asking everybody to do.
And will they?
I'm hoping.
Well, you know, I think we have to give credit where credit's due. There are a lot more people stepping up now, a lot more, a lot fewer drowsy, a lot more just kind of coming around. And it was really interesting at the picnic because it was just the neighbors, and you got both sides there for sure. And I had conversations with a number of them, all on the same page. The division just wasn't there anymore. Even people I know were far, far, far on the other side. They're asking me what's going on because it doesn't make sense anymore. So we are winning. I mean, we just have to look at the wins. They're going to be small. They may not be big right away, but it's the small wins that lead to the big wins, and we're going to get there. Just recognizing, you know, that people are waking up. They're seeing their world turned upside down.
Bernard, what it tells you guys is there's a lot more people on the same page. They're just not boisterous yet, but in numbers, they're willing to show their colors. And this is why I keep saying we need to step up, and you and I will talk about rememberyouroath.com later, because it's a very, very important tool in order to get people to understand they're not on an island. And we're not. In fact, we are the island.
Yep. Well, I'll just mention too that people think we don't have a social life. Both of us were in social situations this weekend. So there, guys, we do have a social life. Okay, we do more
Kind
than
of,
just the news all week.
kind of. And it was so funny is in that social situation, everybody kept telling me I should take some time and and relax. I'm like, okay,
I
uh,
hope you didn't have your laptop at the table and was working in there.
okay. So, wow.
No, huh?
Well, yes, I got to be honest. So while I was at the table oh my God, I can't believe you brought this up. While I was at the table, I had a download in my inspiration for the next film that I'm working on. So I was taking notes on my phone. I have a note section on my phone over and over and over and over and over. And then I was letting a few people know what I'm going to do. So it's going to be an amazing, 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 amazing film. I'm so happy with this. And my wife said, promise me, do not give a date of its release. She goes, because then you'll end up working 120 hours a week. And so she promised, I can't give a date, but I'll tell you guys, I'll just let you know it's about the Babylonian system, and it's going to be a really great, great film.
And it won't be a thriller this time.
No, it'll be a thriller.
Oh, entrepreneurs are like that, Lewis. We can't turn it off. Sometimes 2 o'clock in the morning, I get inspiration. I got to get up, and I hate turning on the phone because then the blue light and it wakes me up. But you just got to do what you got to do, and it's there. You can't lose it. You can't lose those thoughts. I'm the same way.
So
All
people
right.
are asking about Remember Your Oath. There is some challenges on the site for some folks, and some folks there's no challenges. So we don't know what's going on. All we know though is we're focusing by November 1st to have everything up and running, including the app. Woohoo! I just got off with the app designer today before we started this show. Everything's looking great. So guys, this rememberyouroath.com will be a life changer for a lot of people.
We need to put together a little promo video for that. So maybe something we'll put on Lisa's plate to do when she has time.
Yep, we'll
Yeah.
put it together. I just know that I want to work some bugs out before I really promote it, but
Yeah.
it's we're very excited about
Definitely
this.
in the right direction. All right. Our friend.
I just want everybody to hear that. So again, there's no way Robert and myself, unfortunately, and even a 10 other top-notch podcasters are going to be able to get the word out and wake everybody up. It's going to have to be the Joe Rogans, the Elon Musks, the Tucker Carlsons, and the Russell Brands of the world. And of course, then you're going to have to get a couple of people in Congress that'll do it. And then what I'm seeing happen in mainstream media, which I like, is maybe mainstream media is not exactly waking people up, but they're not challenging the guests that they have that are waking people up like they used to. They're just letting them talk, and then they go, okay, we'll move on to the next schedule, which would tell me maybe they had a talking to. Maybe they're like, hey, we're going to have this guest on, and you're just going to have to let it happen. Because it's very interesting if you're watching the mainstream media. And there is virtually nobody in support of Joe Biden anymore, except some weirdos like Rob Reiner, Mark Hamill. It's just just nut jobs like that are still pushing the message. But you have to know they're part of the deep state mechanism, anyways.
It is even more interesting the way he dropped it. He dropped it as absolute, unquestioned fact.
That's right.
It wasn't
No
like, well, we
speculation.
kind of think that it might be, developed, a lab. He said it was developed in a lab by Tony Fauci, who funded it. Right?
Exactly right.
Yeah.
He stated it as a fact.
Yep.
So the disclosures are coming. As Robert predicted, this year would be the year of disclosures, and they are.
They're coming fast and furious. Well, we have some more. He don't want to say that, but he said it.
I don't know. I don't know. I know we're just conspiracy theorists over here. I know we're crazy when we say people are wearing a mask. We're just wacko. Woo! Crazy people. And President Trump saying he'll hit him in the nose and plastic will go everywhere. Come on, guys. Are you not hearing the truth right now?
Carol Maureen Friesen yesterday when I played that clip, she said, "Was you sure that wasn't Sean doing that voice?" I'm like, "No, it wasn't."
That was beautiful. And President Trump had really good form. If you noticed, he had his left out. He had one out front while he's doing the jab like this. Okay, so that's good. Oh
You know what I
man.
noticed about the old guy, the mask with the old guy? If you looked in the back of the head, the wrinkles were there because there's no pressure pulling that mask down. So when he
Mhm.
put his head up, you see these unnatural wrinkles behind. Telltale sign. Maybe that's what we got to look for because you see
Well,
that a lot in Biden.
we've seen that on Biden a
We
couple
have,
times,
yeah.
right? And I may have seen that on a known Patriot influencer myself.
AOC.
That's not who I was thinking
I
of,
know.
but yes.
3 letters. I gave you the wrong three. I got it.
Oh, wrong three letters. Okay.
Just glance at the clock. It's 3:33. What does that mean? We're talking about this topic. All right. Where's Carol when we need her? Yeah. Another one caved, huh?
Okay.
Let's
So,
unpack this one.
oh, Lord in heaven.
Where do we start, right?
First, whether she is a white hat or a black hat, she's a bad actress.
Yes.
Really. In fact, there was an award that they called the Razzie, I think, and it was an award that they would give to the worst film and the worst actor. She is horrible, horrendous acting. Oh my Lord in heaven, it was horrible. That whine, that screech, that fake crying. I'm sorry. So, what? Here's what we know, and it is we know that she's acting. If that's not clear to everybody, I don't know what they think they're watching right now. Now, the question is she acting on behalf of the bad guys? Because there's a lot of speculation that she's deep state. Is she acting on the behalf of the bad guys and she's deep state? Or is she pretending to roll over? Whatever's going on this is an interesting story. In fact, if you really want to go into detail, guys, or hear about this, I went in depth with about Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis, two other people, with Nicholas Viniaman today. So after you watch this, go watch that. It's very, very interesting. And there's a lot of comms that are going on with these people. 666s, 555s. It's really, really interesting. 55, sorry, not 555s, which we know means loud and clear. Whatever's happening, here's what we know. Which means he needs to look weakest before he does something huge. And it's not just him. It is obviously his huge team, as he would say, huge. But there's a golden boomerang. And unfortunately, that's the weapon that the deep state keeps throwing, and it keeps slapping them right back in the face. And this is exactly what's going to happen with all this. So I'm actually excited to see all this build up. And I know people get so angry and upset that all these people are caving over, but it's lawfare, guys. If you're facing life and your option is to get 6 months probation, a lot of these people are gonna take it. I don't know that I would, because I think it's sometimes it's more important to take a stand than protect your livelihood. But they have families to consider. I have families to consider. So this is all stuff that people should look at, if it's real, and that's the question that we really have to figure out.
Master Baggy is saying that he believes it's a psyop and pretending that they're weak when they're actually strong. She
That's
does face, even with this plea deal, she does still face a year in prison, but not life in prison, which is a big difference.
well, that's you're in prison still a maybe, by the way.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Yeah,
still a maybe.
it looks like it's going to be probation, but we'll see. And I believe if she is the weak link, which she could be, because if you notice, she didn't take any accountability. She blamed her so-called senior representatives, attorneys, that, oh, well, I should have just really
Which
looked
what
at
is
what they
Giuliani,
were
right?
doing.
She was working
I
with
tr-
Giuliani.
I trusted them, right?
Hmm.
So, so let's say this is real. What they do is they hold that year over her based on her testimony. And if it looks like it's going to go against Trump, then I'll cut her some slack. And if not, then she has to serve the year.
Yep.
So this is the way lawfare works, guys. We need to get rid of lawfare. Lawfare should be illegal in every country in the world because it is absolute unfair. I know a guy that went to prison for 3 years because they held a conspiracy over him because he happened to mention something that he was doing in a seminar to somebody else, even though it wasn't illegal. Because he had that conversation, they held a general conspiracy, and his attorney that he paid $850,000 finally just said, "You're not going to get out of this one. They always get you on conspiracy." It's like a 99% conviction rate.
Wow.
By the way, most of these people have a conspiracy charge on them.
Yep,
So
they do.
this is the sick lawfare that it is.
So now it gives the other side a talking point, right? To say, look, all these Trump lawyers, they're all pleaded guilty. Nobody's going to go in and look at the details and realize they took the lesser of two evils. They decided not to fight it. They didn't want to face life in prison and all the stuff that we talk about. All they're going to say in the narrative is, look, all of Trump's lawyers, they're all pleading guilty. Gives them a talking
Yep.
point.
I actually said that on Nicholas Veniaman today, that what this is with all these people. In fact, I have it written down here. Sidney Powell, Jenna Ellis, Cheseboro, and Scott Graham all pleaded in Fulton County, Georgia. These are actually, this is part of the information war, and this is a gift to the mainstream media. That's really what this is.
Mm-hmm.
So they can run with the narrative because there is nothing there. By the way, if there's something there, let's just talk about this. If this was real, if there was something there, they wouldn't be letting any of these people plea. They would be taking them to the cleaners. But there's nothing there. You don't drop a lifetime sentence down to 6 months probation in ever. It doesn't happen if you have a strong case. They have no case. These are games. These are it's lawfare games. It's really disgusting. But hey, at minimum, it's disclosing how sick our system is, and we have to tear it down.
Yeah.
Tear it down, tear it down. And FBI, I don't mean physically tear it down. I'm not telling anybody to go tear it down, just so you're very clear.
Tear it down emotionally. Hey, people are asking about Remember Your Oath t-shirts. Where do we go to get those? Is it rememberyouroath.com? Is that where they'll find them?
Yeah, so you go to rememberyouroath.com. I sell them for cost, guys. This is about just getting the word out. Just getting the word out. They're at cost. Now, somebody put in here that several weeks ago they ordered and they haven't even got a confirmation. Well, just to be clear, the announcement only happened 10 days ago, so I'm not quite sure how you could have ordered it several weeks ago. But we spelled it incorrectly. We spelled Constitution with another I. We spelled it Constitution. That was awesome. So we're doing some reprints in those, but you can get them for cost. This is about everybody just showing people exactly what our colors are, and that is we are freedom fighters. We are deputies for freedom, and this is about Remember Your Oath. It's an amazing, amazing program. Go to rememberyouroath.com, and by the way, you can go print it. You don't have to buy it from us. Print it yourself. I don't care. It's not about money. Let's be clear about that. But if you want it to be done easily, we've done t-shirts for $10 and sweatshirts for $15. That's it, and they're very high quality.
Coming up on the fall weather, of course, we're not experiencing much of fall just yet, but we're going to get there. So sweatshirts are a really good idea for those of you who are thinking about that. And of course, they're conversation starters. People say, "Oh, no one talks to me. No one's on my side." Well, you're not showing your colors. How are they going to know what side you're on?
Exactly
so
right.
having it on a t-shirt or a hat or a scarf or whatever it is helps a lot. It does break the ice and does help start a lot of conversations. You need more friends. Get out there more with that information on you that people will know he's one of us, or she's one of us, which is great. Cool. Mark Middleton. This is an interesting story, Lewis. Tell us a little bit about Mark Middleton here. He worked as a top aide to Bill Clinton and signed Jeffrey Epstein into the White House 7 of the 17 times he visited that were captured on record. Mark also reportedly rode on Epstein's infamous Lolita Express jet multiple times with Bill and other elites. I don't know the man, and I don't know why he picked our country. Mainstream media says, right? That's what they're telling us. All right. America's got a crisis on its hand. Another one. This one's kind of interesting because it involves our friends over at Meta. Let's see. This is not the same story. I got the wrong one here. Jonathan Turley. Okay. Yeah. So this is a polling that came out, and I'm not a big poll guy. Lewis, are you a big poll guy? Do you believe the polls a lot of the times?
Well, I pole dance in the dark
You
at night
pole
in my
dance,
bedroom.
okay?
Yeah. Is that what you're referring to?
That kind of poll, but okay. If
Oh, not that type of pole. Fishing
TMI
pole.
there,
I,
TMI
I
there.
do like fishing. So yes, I'm a fishing pole guy.
Okay. So
Right?
this is from Zero Hedge. A recent startling poll, they had to qualify it, shows that a majority of voters not only view the opposing party as a threat to the nation, but justifying violence to combat their agenda. This is an interesting one. The polls by the University itself. 52% of Biden supporters say Republicans are now a threat to the American life, while 47% of Trump supporters say the same about Democrats. Among Biden supporters, 41% now believe violence is justified to stop Republicans from achieving their goals. An almost identical percentage, 38%, of Trump supporters now embrace violence to stop Democrats. What are they trying to tell us?
Well,
I believe so.
I think there's intent to this poll, and that is to divide us even further. And literally, how about it's saying to the people that have a violent tendency, hey guys, you're not on an island. Many people want to be violent also. Let's do it. So
Yeah.
things like this are actually scary because I think they're media driven, unfortunately, because they need the division. And anybody with common sense, and I think we have probably 85% of the people watching have common sense right now. I'm joking, guys, 100%. I'm just playing with you. Whoo, God, I almost got in
101%.
trouble.
Just to be sure, 101%.
I almost got in trouble again. Um, so I believe anybody with common sense can recognize that we are not in a 50-50 liberal conservative divide. We're not in a 50-50 conservative Republican. We're not in a 50-50
Right.
pro-trans, anti-trans movement. Those are all the division that's created by the media, intentional, because is okay. Let's bring it from the macro to the micro. Anytime that you want to control somebody, I mean, it sounds really crazy, but that's still structure because every single day at this time you do this. I'm here for you because they have a mental break. That's the micro. In the macro, they're doing the exact same thing. So what they have to do is they're creating the Democrat, the Republican Party. By the way, if you notice, most countries have multiple parties, more than two. Not into the greatest psyop in the world, which is with the United States. They have two parties, pretty much just two parties. So that's part of that break, that divide. You have conservative media, liberal media. Do you ever just have media? Right? You don't. They do this. You have conservative radio, liberal radio. This is what they do. It's all about creating the constant division. And when they do that, they can control because then they're going to give you structure. They're going to tell you what to think, how to think, when to be here, and what to do. And it makes people feel like, okay, at least I'm getting some guidance here. So they turning us into babies. It's really sick of what they do, but narrative. And that's it.
Yep.
That's it. That's all we need to win this. We're almost there, in my opinion. Again, my opinion. And fuck you, FBI. Sorry, I'm back.
All right, before we go into the next story, which is a little bit of a longer story, Lewis and I talked a little bit earlier about looking for a little bit of help on our show. We're looking for someone that can help with editing and capturing clips. And you know, the issue that we're having with the folks that we have, are not that they're bad people, they're really great people and they are helping. It's just a timing issue and they don't have a lot of spare time. So we're looking for someone that can help out with this. You know, this kind of process. There's a lot of work to putting a show together, a lot of moving parts to it. And you know, Lewis and I are putting in 8, 10 hours a day to do the show. For an hour show, you think, why does it take so long? Well, number one is research, right? We're going to put stories up, but you find a story, you got to make sure that the story is vetted, at least to some extent, because there's a lot of BS out there. You could grab a story and put it up and put it out there and then realize, well, that was completely BS. That was just some guy who made something up in AI. So we always look for that. We ran across a story actually today that we were given that we thought from a credible source, and it turned out the story was a year old. We didn't dig into it. We would have just published it and said, here you go, guys, brand new stuff. And someone would have said, wait a minute, that came out a year ago. So
and we have multiple eyes on it, because I didn't, because of the source that sent it to me, I sent it to you saying this is legit. And you're like, whoa, Lewis, that's a year old.
Yeah.
So it's important. We have to do this. Multiple eyes on everything, because we want to give you the final information that's vetted as much as possible.
Right. So if you want to be part of our team, reach out to us, because we're really looking for one or two people that will help with the editing. We have Denise. Denise is going to be helping us. I'm going to work closer with her in helping us grab some clips from the show and then get that on TikTok and other places as well. That will help us grow the audience, which is fabulous. Master Baggy, he's doing what he can to find stories. Thank you, Master Baggy, doing a great job. Lisa is on other websites. She's building the website, rememberyouroath.com, and other graphics and things that she's doing. But so yeah, if we can find someone to help with clipping and editing, that would be phenomenal, and we will teach you. So if you don't know it, you've never done it before, we're able to help you get through and help us out. So raise your hand.
Let me preface, so you need some technical
right
ability, though, because we can't just train from scratch.
Right.
And what we're really looking for is, it's like all the people that we just mentioned with your wonderful, they have the skill set, but there's a specific time frame that we need. And it's from 12 to 3 Pacific time.
So 3 to 6 Eastern, right?
3 to 6 Eastern, right. That's the time that we need this work done in. So if you can maybe clip videos for us and images, maybe write a headline, that's just about it. And,
yeah.
Between Robert and I, we'll train you up. But we'd really appreciate it if you want to volunteer. Just email us at screwbiggov@protonmail.com. screwbiggov@protonmail.com.
Awesome. And we appreciate the folks that are helping us. And each one of you, by the way, who's watching as well, we appreciate you, because you are part of the solution. Just by watching the show, sharing the show, commenting, being in the chat room. And if you haven't been in the chat room yet, what are you waiting for? There's so much fun. I'm watching the chat room. There's a lot of fun going on in there. And these people are communicating. They're getting to know each other. It's like a little family. And you're welcome to join anytime. So, yeah, we appreciate all of you. And, we need a little bit of help to keep the show going, because that's our passion, is really to bring you not just the news, but bring you sort of a bigger view of what's going on, rather than put it into context. Where does it fit in with this bigger picture? And, and also help bust through those mainstream narratives. They just keep going. They just keep trying them. And we're just like, no, not true. So we pride ourselves on being able to do that. Okay. It is interesting to me that Facebook's parent company is called Meta. Meta is a word that's used a lot in psychology, like a meta program, right? So it's interesting that they call themselves that, because this New York Attorney General Letitia James, I got to remember how to say that.
Thank you for saying it correctly.
And a bipartisan coalition of 32 attorneys general have sued Meta Platforms and its Instagram unit on Tuesday in federal court, accusing the social media company of contributing to the mental health crisis plaguing young people. Could she be doing something good here? Is this really for the betterment of society? In the lawsuit filed in district court, Northern District of California, the 33 attorneys general alleged Meta intentionally designed and developed addictive features on Facebook and Instagram for children and teens. Hello? That's the business model. Of course they did that.
Yes.
It said the social media company also collected data on children under 13 without notifying parents or obtaining parental consent. It's a breach of federal law. Good luck finding that one out. Okay, so here's some of the things that she is, Letitia is saying that Meta exploits the youth for profit. Number one is algorithms that are designed to recommend content to keep users on the platform longer and encourage compulsive use. And the longer they're on there, the more ads they show them, the more money they make. This is the business model. Got it. Likes and social comparison features known by Meta to harm young users. Because, if you don't get a lot of likes on your content, you're probably not a very good person. Incessant alerts meant to induce young users to return to Meta's platforms constantly, even while at school and throughout the night. We know that. The phone never stops beeping unless you turn it off, right? Visual filter features known to promote young users' body dysmorphia. And content presentation formats such as the infinite scroll designed to discourage young users' attempts to self-regulate and disengage with Meta's products. Again, that's the business model. Longer we can keep you on there, the more ads we can show you, the more money we make. So Meta responds to the lawsuit. We're disappointed that instead of working productively with companies across the industry to create clear, age-appropriate standards for the many apps teens use, the attorneys general have chosen this path.
Right. So,
yeah,
one of my favorite subjects is media regulation, because this is a no-win situation for them whatsoever. If you're an open platform like Rumble appears to be, I'm still in debate on that because I know the way we get shadow banned here. But if you're an open platform like Rumble appears to be, you get banned from France. If you're an open platform the way Rumble appears to be, you'll have the leftists come after you in force.
And they
right?
are, yeah.
In force. Now, if you're a Facebook and you're an open platform and you do not censor, you'll have the lefties come after you in force. They'll sue you, they'll use lawfare, they'll do anything, right? If you start censoring, like Facebook has done for many, many, many years, you have the patriots and the conservatives that want to lynch you, right? So, because the difference is, and there's a keen difference, you can't say that both of them are out for control. The patriots are not out to control, they're out for lack of control. All they want is a free speech platform. Leave us alone, right? We appreciate the platform. Thank you very much, right? So, but it is a tough place to be if you're a social media company because you're going to get hit from both sides. The key is, to me, is there's one side that they can pick that's not mentioned here, and that's God's side. And God's side is doing what you need to do without a nefarious agenda attached to it. If they're doing God's work, it doesn't really matter how hard the left comes after you. None of it really matters. I just happen to think currently God's work is closer aligned to the patriots than it is to the Marxist left.
Here's the hat trick is mentioning he's on Grassroots Warrior Network watching us today, and he's mentioning too that video games are so destructive, and they're very similar. They're designed in the same way that casinos are designed to be extremely addictive. The music is very hypnotic, very addictive, and it keeps you focused there. Well, these social media sites use a lot of that same technology. There's a whole world of study on that and on how to keep people engaged, and they do it. Video games, I remember when I was playing video games back in the 90s, I remember how many hours would just disappear. And eventually I just woke up and I was like, not doing this anymore. And I deleted all the games off the computer, never gone back, and never gone and played any more video games because it was just eating my life away really quickly, too. It's just hours and hours gone. I'm like, I could be writing a sales letter. I could be making money. I could, the things I could be doing. And just whittling away the time like that didn't make any sense. But it's very addictive. A lot more so today than it was back then because the science in that has been very refined and grown and matured, and they really know. So these social media sites, they know how to keep the young ones enrolled and keep them sucked in to the point where they can't let go of their phone. The teachers now are putting the phones at the front of the room, and they're not paying attention because all they've got in their mind is I got to get back. Who's texting me? What's going on? You know what I mean? They just got that on the back of their head. They want that phone in their hands. It's crazy addicting.
Well, the original Facebook was created by the CIA, DARPA, actually, if anybody needs to know. And they, what people need to understand is they were more interested in the chemical reaction to people clicking the like button and the unlike button and shares and the hearts and the thumbs up than just about anything else except the tracking mechanism that came along with Facebook, which they created. But one thing they did from a scientific standpoint is they actually tracked your chemical reaction to this stuff. So you have to understand, if that's the original creators were tracking your chemical reaction to a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it's going to be nefarious.
Yeah. And it's gone way beyond that. I mean, we're 25 years hence from that. So yeah, there's a lot that's been changed. And like I said, that whole science is very mature now compared to the way it was. It's very addicting. You got to pull yourself away, folks. It's when it comes time to go to bed, just turn the device off and go do something else. Go for a walk. You know what I mean? As it's like it'll draw you in and keep you in, and that's not where we want to be. All right, let's see here. I think we've played all the videos we had for today, Lewis. And I think we're at the end of our stories. Yep. Come to the end. Gosh, I hate when that
Okay, see you later.
happens.
Bye.
I hate when we come to the end of this show. I want this thing to go on and on and on.
Well, let's just talk about Neumi, guys, real quick.
Yeah.
And you can, I think we have my Neumi on there, but you can go to Robert's also. If Robert, if you can close your up, let's support Robert. Neumi is one of the most phenomenal products I think God has ever given us. People know that I've had over 100 products being approached to me, and I just refused to put them on my show. I actually I was telling this story this weekend. I had a company approach me, and they showed me based on the sales that I could make and what other truthers have done on a particular product, I could have made $500,000 on a product, guys, and I turned it down. I turned it down because I thought that they were one hit quick, and all they are trying to do is grab your money. So I said, no, I will not do that. And I don't, trust me, I don't make anything like that on anything that I do, but I would rather put my name behind something that I believe in. And Neumi is not just the most amazing product out there when it comes to getting glutathione in your body, but the efficacy of the company is tremendous. And the skin product they had with the spray is absolutely amazing. And one thing that we're noticing, and this I think is pretty exciting, is we're watching people use this product and drop 3, 4, 5 supplements. So it not only pays for itself, it's actually putting them back in the black, so to say. So I would recommend Neumi. Go to Rob's link. What is your link, Rob?
It is right there, renegademedia.tv/energy, and it'll take you right to the Neumi website, and that's where you can pick up. I would get the there's a combo pack they have where you get the NutraSwish and the Neumi Skin, and I was looking at our dear friend Bruce Poppy on Friday, looking at how young he looks. He uses the Neumi Skin several times a day, and it's like, I think I got to start using it, although I'm not one who likes stuff on my face, but apparently this doesn't leave any kind of residue, which is fantastic.
None
whatsoever. Okay.
I'm actually 124 years old, so it's
I
doing
wouldn't
okay.
have known.
I only look about 84, so I think it's doing really good for me.
Awesome. Cool.
That claim has not been evaluated by the FDA.
By the FDA, exactly. No, glutathione is real important. It keeps your liver going. It's the fluid that keeps your liver to let it do its job, which is cleaning the blood, which means helping you detox and helping you give more energy. And the other thing that's in there that people don't recognize is they also put turmeric in there. Turmeric is good for inflammation. So you have joint pain. It's usually inflammation that's causing it. This helps reduce inflammation. I'm not saying it's going to get rid of all your joint pain, but there are a lot of reports and people taking it. And, Bruce Poppy is one who was having chronic back pain, and he started to get on the Neumi, and all of a sudden he realized, hey, back pain's gone. So we've had a lot of stories like that. And if you look at Lewis's hair, it's turned a little darker than it had been. And, that happens as a side effect of doing this, letting your body do its job by giving it the tools it needs and supporting it in the way it needs to. So renegademedia.tv/energy, you'll be able to get your hands on this great product and join in the fun, my friends. We want you to be healthy of not only body, but also mind and soul. And we try to help you with a little bit of humor in these shows because we are a little funny sometimes. Like, give us that, you know.
Yeah. Funny looking.
Funny looking, and some of these topics can be very heavy, but we like to look at them and say, okay, maybe there's a fun side to it, maybe there's a lighter side to it. We're not as funny as Sean Fresh, I got to tell you that, but he was good. He did a good job
Yeah.
there at the Truth Tour.
Sean is a great guy.
Yep.
I spent some time with him. He's hilarious. Folks, I'm noticing something and it just hit me. So we have about 1/7 of the amount of people we have watching live right now have actually given a thumbs up. The thumbs up really, really helps with the algorithm. So if you guys could click that. If you're watching live, guys, and you're a subscriber, do us a favor from now on, log into your account if you can to watch us live, and then click the thumbs up because it's really going to help with the algorithms. We're so close to becoming a premier live show on Rumble's Top 10 that we need your help. And all it takes is for you to be a subscriber and hit that thumbs up button while you're watching live. And I can tell you, we're about 1/7 of the live viewers right now. So it would really, really help us if you guys could do that.
Yeah, you have to be logged in to hit the like button. If you're hitting the like button and nothing's happening, it'll pop up a window and say, please log in. A Rumble account is free. It's good to have. And then you can go over to screwbiggov.com, download Cages, and then upload it to your Rumble channel so you have some content to share. That's what I encourage people to do because, Rumble is a place to upload video. And speaking of that, on the Renegade Media channel, I have all the Truth Tour presentations all sorted out one by one, so you can go watch them and just have fun. Sean Fresh is probably my favorite there, but I love. There's a lot of good truthers that.
What am I, chopped liver?
You're not chopped liver. You did a good job because you announced the Remember Your Oath and really gave a great speech on sort of laying out the foundation of what it is and why you're doing it and how the inspiration came to you. And I think we're onto something huge here. So yeah, it was a really good presentation.
Huge, I agree.
Huge, as we say. Or I'm not going to do it for Ash. He can do it. He's good at that. I can't do it. All righty.
Well, let's get the flock out of here.
Anything more you want to share with our audience? We have 913 watching us. Happy people.
Love you very much. I need to get a little rest, and then we'll be rolling Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday here to finish out the week, and then a lot of great things coming, folks. A lot of great things. Starting next week, I would keep going back to rememberyouroath.com. You're going to see some really cool updates.
Excellent. Thank you, Lewis. I appreciate you. You're a great person to be working with. I so enjoy it. And thank you for everyone for watching, for following the channel, for giving us a thumbs up. And you guys are great. Just love you all.